Hi, my name is Christy, also known as Sullen Girl, and I'm the author of the blog Speaking Out About Self-Injury on HealthyPlace.com. Today's video is going to be about dealing with your emotions in a healthy way rather than using self-injury as a coping mechanism. And I have been a self-injurer for 13 years, and I am currently in recovery. So it's been trial and error for me to find out what works and what doesn't as far as dealing with my emotions in a healthy way. And one of the biggest debates that I always find between people who self-injure are what's considered a healthy way of coping with your emotions and what's not. And I see a lot of websites and a lot of TV shows and a lot of books that recommend replacing your self-injury with another act. And what I mean by that is a lot of places recommend doing things like snapping a rubber band on your wrist, holding ice in your hand until it's freezing your hand or burning you, cracking an egg over your skin, drawing on your skin with markers, etc., punching pillows, throwing things, ripping up phone books, you name it. And a lot of places really recommend doing that because the way that some people see it is that it's better to get your emotions out in some way rather than leave a lasting scar of self-injury. And after I read a book that I really, really respect and really recommend called Bodily Harm, the Breakthrough Healing Program for Self-Injurers, that was written by the directors of the Safe Alternatives Program, which is the world's renowned treatment program for self-harm. After I read that book, it made so much sense to me that actually when you replace self-injury with another act, like snapping yourself with a rubber band or holding ice in your hand until it's freezing you and hurts, you're not getting to the root of the problem. Now, it's just a temporary fix. And, for me in the past, behaviors like that do keep you from self-harming sometimes and at the time, but it never allows you to thoroughly cope with your emotions and deal with them in a healthy way. So in the end, self-injury will keep reoccurring in your life, or you'll try to replace it with an unhealthy coping mechanisms because you just don't understand how to really deal with your emotions. And one of the things that Bodily Harm and the people at Safe Alternatives actually recommend is doing something productive like an impulse control log when you're feeling like you want to self-injure. Now, one of the reasons that they advise that you do this, and one of the reasons it's worked for me, is because it gives you some time to think about why you want to self-injure. It gives you some time to figure out what's triggered you, and it also gives you some time to cool down. And if you're doing writing, you don't have to do, a specific impulse control log, but if you write and get your feelings out, a lot of times you can figure out what's going on deep down emotionally. And one of the, best ways to recover from self-injury is to learn how to deal with your emotions in a healthy way, even though they might be uncomfortable. Learning how to deal with them and focusing on what has triggered you, and that's one way that you can really recover from self-injury. In my next video, I will talk more about what is inside an impulse control log and some more healthy alternatives to self-harm that are not just replacing with another coping mechanism. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next week. Bye, guys.